KLOK, San Jose, San Francisco, and Oakland. The most powerful Desi radio station in America. A Universal Media Access-owned radio station.
If you're looking to keep up on all the latest of your favorite TV shows, whether they be South Asian or American, Rangmunch on KLOK 1170 AM is the place you want to be. Don't miss Alima Let's Live live at 8 p.m. every Saturday night. Catch up and stay informed of all the saucy tidbits of your favorite villains and heroes, like House and many others.
Don't all doctors do that?
Yeah, but they can't dance like I can.
And good evening, Bay Area. This is Alima Rangmunch with Alima with Lo on the boat or Lo at the boat. Hey, Lowell, how are you?
Alima, doing fantastic. How
Great.
you doing?
Doing pretty good. Hey, I have to tell you, I totally enjoyed your show last night.
Oh, thank you very much. It warms my heart to hear you say that.
It was fun. Not that I follow cricket as much, but I probably would follow the American sports more than I, follow the cricket thing. But
And a shout out to your husband, Sai. Thank you for listening, and hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope he calls in one of these days.
That is sweet. I will let him know. I'll make sure he listens to this. Though, I hope everyone is having a fantastic Saturday. It's long weekend, Memorial Weekend. Any plans, Lo?
Well, you know what? I might head up to the Valley. I have a lot of friends in Stockton. That's where I hang out when I'm not in the Bay Area. So I might head over there probably on Monday.
Cool. Are you off on Monday?
I am off on Monday, yes.
Okay, very nice. But it's been such weird weather, right? It's like cold one day, super hot another day, windy another day. No wonder I fell sick and I was coughing so much last week. But see, hey, I'm better this week. So
yes,
much
you
more
are. Much better.
I promise, listen. I promise, mere pyare dost. I will not cough today, I'm sure. And I have plenty of golden oldies all lined up. It looks like I've been getting requests for a lot of golden songs. When I say golden songs, as in 50s and 60s and 70s, and people stick to old as gold. So I have plenty of songs. Hey, agar you guys have any special requests and dedications to do, the number to call is 408-912-5565. And I have a special guest on the show, but I shall reveal the special guest only after I come back from playing one of my favorite songs that I pulled out for today. See you guys in a couple of minutes.
पल दिल के पास तुम रहती हो, पल पल दिल के पास तुम रहती हो, जीवन मीठी प्यार ये कहती हो, पल पल दिल के पास तुम रहती हो। हर शाम आँखों पर तेरा आँचल लहराए, हर रात यादों की बारात ले आए। मैं सांस लेता हूँ तेरी खुशबू आती है, एक महका महका सा पैगाम लाती है। मेरे दिल की धड़कन भी तेरे गीत गाती है, पल पल दिल के पास तुम रहती हो। कल तुझको देखा था मैंने अपने आंगन में, जैसे कह रही थी तुम मुझे बांध लो बंधन में। ये कैसा रिश्ता है, ये कैसे सपने हैं, बेगाने होकर भी क्यों लगते अपने हैं। मैं सोच में रहता हूँ, डर डर के कहता हूँ, पल पल दिल के पास तुम रहती हो। सोचोगी क्यों इतना मैं तुमसे प्यार करूं, तुम समझोगी दीवाना मैं भी इकरार करूं। दीवानों की ये बातें दीवाने जानते हैं, जलने में क्या मजा है परवाने जानते हैं। यूं ही जलाते रहना आकर ख्वाबों में, पल पल दिल के पास तुम रहती हो। जीवन मीठी प्यार ये कहती हो, पल पल दिल के पास तुम रहती हो।
And Rangmunch with Alima is back, and as promised, should I reveal? Should I let the cat out of the bag? Who's with me?
Let's pull the curtain back. Absolutely.
Let's do that. Dosto, I have Chaz Carlos with me. Chaz.
Hello there, Lima. It's nice to be back. Thank you very
know.
much for having me on board.
How many of you remember him? We used to do a radio show together a long while back, and it's
the
fantastic.
original jazz man.
Well, it's good to have you as a visitor. It's been, he's been
privilege.
with me for the longest time, and we did radio shows together. I miss you.
We've done a number of them. I think we did several different shows.
We did several. We did like almost 3 days a week,
Well,
did we not? When we were
like
doing them?
Like another lifetime ago. That was nice.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, Dosto, this is Carlos here with me, my very dear friend that I've kept in touch with for the longest time. So what have you been up to, Chaz?
Oh, geez, where to begin? Lima, for a number of years, I, like many others in the United States, we suffer from sleep paralysis. And I've been doing a lot of research work in sleep paralysis.
Really?
And actually, I've come to, and that's kind of led me a little bit into the paranormal.
Ooh.
And
Well, I like paranormal, but not like in-depth paranormal. I mean, like I read books.
As
I'm
long as it
open.
doesn't scare you?
Not that it scares me. I am open to a whole bunch of things. A lot of people don't believe in those things. I don't know, but I just keep myself open to that anything can happen in this world.
It's surprising how many people do believe. Not as many speak openly of it because of the cynicism that surrounds it. But there are many people who are believe in the paranormal. And when it comes to sleep paralysis, there's some scientific facts supporting sleep paralysis. However, they still don't know everything regarding sleep paralysis. And any time that there's science does not fully comprehend the basis as to an anomaly, actually, where all the facts are not clear, then there are going to be individuals who are going to come up with their own ideas and thoughts, which are valid, as to what lies underneath all the mystique.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we have made tremendous leaps and everything in science and research and everything, but the brain is one thing that is a constant, dynamically changing, or
Ever changing. The closest science that can come to understanding the brain is well, you'd have to get into quantum physics for that.
Yeah.
And and quantum physics can drive you just as crazy as sleep paralysis itself.
I'm sure. I mean, I'm not a. I mean, I like biology, but chemistry and physics and all these things I would like stay far away. And I think it was last week when I said that math and science. Well, I don't want to say science. I want to say math, chemistry, and physics is 3 subjects that were like they gave me like sleepless nights when I was studying. They were just not my topics. They were just not my topics. You give me English, you give me biology, you give me anything else, boom, I'm there. But
now you have to have an interest in something to
Yeah.
really to
Yeah.
excel in that. You really got to have a genuine interest in it. And my interest is because of my sleep paralysis, and also growing up from a very young age. I grew up with a family and individuals who I associated with at the time. We grew up with the paranormal. We grew up with seances. There was witchcraft. There was
oh,
possessions.
really? Are you serious?
I mean, yes,
like
indeed.
when you say you, as in like your family, or is it like your group of friends or family?
My direct family, my immediate family, my cousins, uncles, aunts, immediate family, and from there it branched off to other people I never even knew. We're
wow.
Latin, so I don't know how big the family is.
Well, that's interesting. Well, that to me, paranormal is reading all those. I'm a voracious reader. I read everything under the sky, and my paranormal activity has to come through, books and added with little romance in it, and all these smart-looking, handsome, hot, hunks that you talk about on, in the books and everything.
That's what keeps you grounded, Alima. Everybody needs something to keep them grounded
Yep.
in times of stress, in times of trouble, and even in happy times. We need to have something that keeps us grounded, something that if we're not too sure of ourselves, we can focus on it and say, hey, this is me. This is reminding me who I am.
Yep,
And it
yep.
keeps us solid.
Right, fantastic. And then you're talking of, handsome hunks and Greek gods and
Yes,
all
let's
that.
stop talking about me.
Well, I mean, besides
Enough about me.
Well, besides Carlos, who happens to be the most handsome hunk on this divine earth, I
It's
should
not
say.
my fault.
Well, seriously, I really can't blame you. I mean, what can I say? I mean, people. I mean, you've known Carlos. I mean, how handsome he can be. Besides Carlos,
Okay.
being him
I'll
on
grant
top
you
of
that.
the list, the hottest hunk doing the TV circuit right now on the Indian TV circuit apparently happens to be Devankadev Mahadev. I don't know how many people are watching this show, but people who like mythology, like Ramayana and Mahabharata. I mean, I remember Chaz used to watch Mahabharata before. Remember?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is about Lord Shiva. Devankadev Mahadev. Well, Mohit Raina seems to be doing a fantastic job playing Lord Shiva. In fact, people are so taken with him as seeing him in that portrayal of Lord Shiva that when he goes out on the streets, people literally fall at his feet, asking for his blessings, taking for his
Oh,
blessings,
my.
because they cannot see him outside of the God figure.
I wonder how he feels about
I mean,
that.
he feels, well, for him it's all about acting. I mean, of course, it's he loves when the fans adore him, and basically it's a good exemplary thing that his acting is so good that he's got so many fans who adore him, right? That alone is a huge superlative
Well, that's
big
his
plus
base,
marks
his fan
against him.
base.
Yeah, but I remember reading somewhere that his mom thinks it's just too much adulation and, it's over the top thing. And of course she says, well, moms are always like that. Moms are always like that. But
Moms help us stay in balance.
But it seems to be that his popularity seems to be soaring, day by day. But hey, he believes in the acting and the hottest god on the small screen for him, it's just he says he just doesn't do much. He just goes there and does his job. And he's totally enjoying it. And of course, he needs to maintain his physique and everything because he's always without his shirt or anything because he's in this god's attire, right?
Yes.
So he's got all these.
So he's not just going to the stage to act or to rehearse. He's also
I
going
mean,
to the gym on his off time.
Yeah.
He goes to. I'm sure he's going to the gym or at home. He's got a gym and he's taking care.
Yep, he's taking care of
his
him.
body.
Yep, and of course, I mean, the makeup and everything alone takes a really long time because it's just not a simple makeup as in, putting pancake and going and things like that. This is you have to put on the Lord Shiva thing, the
I'm
wig
sure it's
and
pretty
all that
extensive.
stuff.
When I was doing photography for the other company, the makeup artist would spend some extensive time on the models, and that wasn't always big time theater either. So I can imagine this gentleman is spending some time with the makeup.
Well, I mean, this show's been going on for, I want to say, probably about a couple of years now. Close to a couple of years, and the story's been struck. I like mythology. I love watching all those shows and things like that, so I kind of catch once in a while. But this is a fantastic show. I think a lot of older generation are watching this show, the housewives and like grandmothers and grandfathers who like watching mythology. The wise ones. There we go, the wise ones. So there we have people. Mohit Raina, the hottest god on the TV circuit. I mean, what can I say? This guy's got amazing dimples. I love this guy. Seriously. Well, dosto, as I said,
if I said that about a female actress on the radio right here, we'd be getting calls from women who are very upset, saying, "How can the jazz man be talking like that? He is such a sexist." Why is it not acceptable for a man to speak about a woman in such regard?
Let's talk about that when I come back because I have a surprise for you.
A surprise for me?
Yes, and when you when you come back or when we come back, let me know what you think about it.
Fantastic.
Ready, Lo?
मुझे मस्त माहौल में जीने दे
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember the song?
I don't remember the song that I'm trying to remember. You know, it's funny. I always find it interesting how we can oftentimes remember that we forgot something, but we can't remember what it was. It's like
It's called Old Age.
I call it a cerebral anomaly. A cerebral anomaly.
Well, you know you're not the only one. There is a bunch of people. Hey, sometimes I forget. At least
So I don't feel so alone anymore.
I'm just making you feel better. It's all of us. It's just called aging gracefully.
Oh my dear, just being in your company, I feel better. Everybody feels better around you.
How sweet of you to say that.
You're just such a beautiful soul, and it's awesome to be here. It's awesome to be with you, Alima, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Lowell, can you please kind of bring me down to earth so where I can find the ground so he
There
doesn't
she goes,
take me
Lowell. Catch her, catch she's floating away.
I'll stay out of this one.
All right, though. So this is Rangmunch with Alima. If you have any special requests, special dedications, you just want to join in and say hello, the number to call is 408-912-5565. Life OK is coming up with a new show called 100. Actually, I should say Sao, but I think it says Ek Shunya Shunya. Apparently, it's a new crime show. And it's going to be showing real investigations on the small on the small screen, so they can get how real these investigations are going to be. And apparently, it's going to be starting in the second week of June on Life OK, only on the weekends. And it is the premise is to kind of bridge the gap between the common man and the investigative people or the police, I believe. I mean, there's always such a huge disparity. I mean, from in the time that some crime happens and people go complain, but the investigation takes a long time. Sometimes we don't know what is happening and all that stuff. But anyways, it looks like the content of the show, it's not going to be reconstructed, and in fact it's going to feature real people and their stories. So the show will also highlight the challenges faced by the police department or the investigative or the CSIs, whoever we call them in India, how hard it is or how easy it is for them to figure out the crime or figure out the solution for the crime or figure out who the culprit is. Anyway, so it is going to be an interesting show. I, for one, am such a stickler for crime shows and thrillers and everything. So I'm sure I'm just going to watch that and
you're
see.
You're like into violence?
I'm into thrilling. I'm into
Thrilling
thrillers.
violence.
I'm into thrillers. You know what? Though it's interesting that you ask me that. I am always fascinated by people who commit the crime, because I always want to think, or I want to know what are they thinking when they're doing this crime.
I tend to think, which one's the killer?
Well, yeah. Well,
It seems to be a common practice for especially serial killers to return to the scene of the crime.
It is. And you know what? I'm seriously thinking of taking up psychology next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I'm
That
seriously
would be
thinking.
awesome. Well, you have my support.
Thank you.
You need all the help you can get.
I'm sure I do. With so many troubled souls in this world, I'm sure. But you know what? I've always liked working with people who do things. Some of them do it out of desperation. Some of do it intentionally. But I always kind of wanted to work with people who are forced to do things by circumstances, but give them a chance to fix the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh la la! That's what I was looking for. Oh,
Oh, there we go. Oh, the song you mean. Oh, well, thank you, Shaz.
I'm sorry. I just busted
That's
out
all
with
right.
excitement here, and I couldn't control it. But I've been racking my brain
Ah,
as to
there
what
we go.
song
Well,
it was I was
well,
meant.
We'll
I found
we'll
it.
play that song. We'll
I'm
play that
sorry,
song.
Alima.
That's all right.
Forgive me, please. Now, back to your irrational thinking.
Rational or irrational thinking? Well, anyway, though, so new show on the pipeline or on the platform coming up, Ek Shuni Shuni on Life. Okay, if anyone's interested in thrillers, then you can follow that show. That's one upcoming there. And then moving on to Madhubala. I mean, Madhubala Ek Ishq Ek Junoon. I mean, this story is going great guns. I mean, a totally commercial show kind of a thing. I mean, if you just want to watch it and feel good, and that is what's going to happen, where it's going to be a totally enjoyable show. Right now, RK has proposed, like last week I remember telling you कि RK ने propose किया था मधु को to get married to her. So the wedding is underway, the preparations are underway. So the mehendi ceremony is scheduled to go on, and so this whole week is just going to be a total marriage celebrations going all around. Of course, Madhu's mother is not accepting that Madhu is actually going to go end up marrying RK. But देखना है कि is this going to be really a wedding and RK is not planning on doing something, or is he genuinely going to be marrying her? Well, Madhubala, as you know, Drashi Dami, she's also going to be part of Jalak Dikla Ja season 6, which is like Dancing with the Stars here. So in India also they have these reality shows. Like we have Dancing with the Stars.
But are they real?
They have a show there. Yeah, I mean, of course, you know how it goes and what it's going to be. So, this is Rangmunch with Alima. Just thank you.
Thank you, Alima.
Well, I'm not sending you away. I just wanted to thank you for just coming and visiting me. It was very nice of you.
Well, I'm not leaving until they send in the guard.
Until the fat lady sings.
Excuse me, I believe that's politically incorrect these days.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't
Not
want to get
until
into
the
any
skinny
controversial
tiger runs.
topics. We don't want to get into controversial topics. Those stay put, and I'll be right back.
जीवन जो तुजागर है सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम सुंदरम
चाहे बाबूजी।
जैसी ये आवाज किसकी है?
इसी गांव की लड़की है, रोज सुबह गाना गाकर गांव को जगाती है। कभी कभी तो ऐसा लगता है अगर ये गाना ना गाए तो
शायद सूरज उदय नहीं होगा। नाम क्या है इसका?
रूपा।
रूपा। जिसकी आवाज इतनी सुंदर है, उसका रूप कितना सुंदर होगा।
Rangmunch with Alima is back on Desi 1170. Dosto, if you have any special requests or dedications, call in at 408-912-5565. I have Chaz with me as my special guest today, and Lowell at the bow, low at the bow.
Load man.
At the bow. And people who are watching Pavitra Rishta, one of the longest standing shows, suna hai ki Ankita has come back to play the role of Archana. Apparently, she is in a coma right now, but it looks like she has been brought back to play her role again. So, dekhna hai ki what is going to happen to the storyline in this show. I personally don't watch the show, but it's been such a very popular show. It's been there from 2009, and it's one of the most popular TV shows on ZTV. It's got the highest ratings, and Hiten Tejwani and Ankita are the main protagonists in this show right now. It started off with Ankita and Sushant Singh was there for the longest time. He left the show, and then Hiten came on board, and this is still doing a fantastic.
What's as a layperson, somebody who's not familiar with this show, can you tell us in a nutshell just kind of what's kind of about?
Pavitra Rishta means relation.
Oh.
Okay, Pavitra means pure. So you're talking about a relation which is pure. So you're talking about a marriage which is pure. So obviously you're talking this is like a story about middle class families and what they go through, the marriages,
that's why it's successful.
Yeah, their
real
issues
people.
And the real people, their issues, and it focuses on when two people marry, then what problems they get into when it's a joint family, issues with mothers-in-law,
And
all those.
In India, they have a lot of those joint families, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. In fact, there was a time when people were moving away from joint families because they just didn't want the responsibility of this older generation, everyone in there. But now it seems that Now, this is again my point of view. Sometimes I could be wrong.
We got that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are other people who think otherwise, but people are getting into those joint families and stuff, and I heard that they're doing it actually for the ulterior motives of having someone take care of their kids. Granted, the grandparents,
But isn't maybe a sidebar to that? Maybe a better sense of maybe financial and emotional security.
It's possible. It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible. But I've also heard that people are missing the presence of the older generation. That contact, that security. There's someone older there in the family to guide you. And that's also there.
Yeah,
that is also
that's
there.
wonderful. That's good. I'm glad to see that some cultures still cherish the seniors in the family.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have my in-laws or my mom or anyone, because it's just nice to have a presence of an older and much maturer elder people in the family, because I on my own would never do any festivals or all these things. But when they are there, when they are at home, they follow all the traditions. They follow all the, they do all the festivals.
It would seem that it gives the family a more sense of completeness, a more
Yeah,
sense
I mean,
of wholeness.
it's fun. I mean,
even I would think that even if the senior person in the home was, say, bedridden, otherwise healthy, but bedridden, maybe they required a lot of care.
Right.
It seems like it just brings a family together.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's a very nice, it's nice feeling to have those. And you know what, though, and I think it also comes from as you grow older, I think you tend to miss them much more than when you are younger, I think. Maybe because when you're young, you're so busy trying to settle in your life, and you're always busy, you're running around, and, and maybe once things have settled down and you have a smooth flow in your life, and then you kind of feel that you need a presence of someone else there.
I think for me, the age is relevant as to whatever our age is. We're always going to, generally speaking, not everybody, but generally speaking, we're always going to want mom and dad around.
I know. Yeah.
I remember when my parents passed away, and the saddest feeling was after they passed away. I was sitting in my home, kind of laying on the couch, being a couch potato, watching some game on TV, and I thought, hey, why don't I go watch a game with Dad? I got up, and it hit me. Dad's not around anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That was sad. That was sad.
And even with your children, right? I mean, they miss the presence of the grandparents. It's not like they spend time. I mean, talking on the phone once a week is one thing, but just staying with you. At home.
Yeah, and that's what kind of scares me with these. In modern times, we have all these mobile, portable, electronic devices.
Yeah.
I have seen families and friends get together, say at a coffee shop, or they go out to eat.
But everyone is on their...
They're doing it together, but everyone
is on their instrument,
device.
right? Yeah.
Yes, these electronic devices are supposed to be social apparatuses, but they've actually have made humans antisocial.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why at home, Sai has a rule for everyone. In fact, he even threatened me that he was going to get a new modem because, we need to get a new one, and he's going to put a time control on it so the internet shuts off at a certain time so you and I cannot access it.
He's a good man. He's a good man.
Well, let's see how far he'll get away with that one.
Living dangerously, but he's a good man.
He's taking a risk now, right? Huh?
Yeah. Now, Alima, you have 2 daughters. You don't have any sons?
Mm-mm.
Oh, my God. The man needs help.
He's doing great.
He's doing
He
great.
loves girls. He's doing fine.
I feel for him.
Why?
I agree with you, Chaz.
Well, maybe I'll have Sai call in, and then he can tell his woes, and he's going to tell, what all we 3 women do at home.
He's going to tell us what you want to hear. We're men. You're talking to men here. Lo, right, Lo?
Right, yeah.
All right, though. So this is Rangmunch with Alima, and stay tuned, and I'll be right back. When I come back, we're going to be talking about Saraswati Chandra and Na Bole Tumne Maine Kuch Kaha.
किसी राह
किसी हाल में किसी बात पर कहीं चल न देना तू छोड़ कर मेरे हम सफर मेरे हम सफर मेरे हम सफर मेरे हम सफर तुझे आ नजर में छुपा लूं मैं तुझे लग न जाए कहीं नजर मेरे हम सफर मेरे हम सफर मेरे हम सफर मेरे हम सफर तेरा प्यार है तो है रोशनी तेरा प्यार है तो है रोशनी
कहाँ दिन ये ढल जाए क्या पता
कहाँ रात हो जाए क्या खबर मेरे हम सफर मेरे हम सफर मेरे हम सफर मेरे हम सफर
किसी राह में
किसी मोड़ पर
कहीं चल न देना तू छोड़ कर
मेरे हम सफर मेरे हम सफर मेरे हम सफर मेरे हम सफर
ना बोले तुमने मैंने कुछ कहा. Now this happens to be one of my favorite shows. Well, I never used to watch it in season 1, but season 2 seems to draw me just like, like a magnet. The story's tight, the screenplay is crisp, and Sonal Ganatra is doing a fantastic job writing the dialogues and the screenplay for it. She's an amazing lady and I totally love her. Story so far on NBT seems to be Aditya, who has been tortured, is he's mentally sick. So he comes home to Megha and Mohan Bhatnagar, and in fact, his memories help them capture a ring of people who are kidnapping little kids and putting them into working on the streets and things like that. So he helps them catch those people. And of course, this is watched by the kingpin who's been doing it. And of course, now he's had it for Adu. He wants to, make sure that this doesn't happen again. And then Adu's friend Munna, who helps Mohan get hold of Adu. Now, this guy seems to be playing a double role here. We don't know if he's on the good side or on the bad side.
Yeah, this is a very interesting storyline. Is this based off true story or true events?
No, I mean, it's fiction, but, actually nowadays, Chaz, all these Indian TV shows are coming up on YouTube with English subtitles.
Oh.
And I mean, I can find the
So I
links
could
for
watch it.
you. I can find the links for you if you kind of want to check it out. But
Link me up, kiddo.
yeah, it's a very interesting story. I mean, I like the fact that being an investigative reporter, his character he's an investigative reporter. I mean, that's what his profession was. And after he gets married, his stepson disappears. So after 12 years, they get hold of him. This is like the story in a nutshell at what's happening. And he finds him in a mental asylum because he was tortured by these people. And then, he gets hit on the head. And in fact, they're trying to escape and he jumps off a building. And so he gets hurt and then he loses his mental stability. So he finds him in a mental asylum and brings him back. So, but now it all comes down to how the family or the people accept his condition. It's not easy living with a.
Does the family accept him?
Yes, of course. I mean, he's the family totally loves him. There is no doubt about it. But then it's not so easy as to how do you deal with a person because you're not used to it. You're not used to dealing with a person who goes into bad memories, who has episodes of nightmares and things like that.
Sounds like you described either sleep paralysis or the onset of very old age.
Well, no, but the bottom line is when a person gets hit on the head and you lose your mental stability
Yes.
and then you are tortured, so obviously you're going to be having nightmares.
There will be some considerable issues
Yeah,
there.
and there's going to be consequences of it. So right now he's like a little baby who's been hurt, who doesn't remember exactly as to what happened. He gets all these flashes and stuff and things like that. And so it's a long process. It's a long process. So I like the fact that they have left that investigative part of his dad also in there because when he goes into any of these episodes, he's like, what brought that on? Because something always should happen to get a reaction out of him like that, So he finds some blood on the floor. He finds like a scissors and things like that, an open window. And so
it's like flashbacks?
yeah, I mean, no, actually what's happening right now. So it looks like someone actually is instigating or is trying to scare this little guy. And he's getting these nightmares, something triggers and he remembers something, but he's not sure what it is. He's scared of all those images and those nightmares and things like that. So
That sounds very interesting. I'd like to watch that one.
yeah, I can send you the links and see
please
if I
do.
can find them, But it's at a very interesting juncture. I actually really like as to what is happening on the show right now. So you should give this show a definite watch. It's Na Bole Tumne Maine Kuch Kaha. Kunal Karan Kapoor and Akansha do a fantastic job playing Mohan Bhatnagar and Megha Bhatnagar. It comes up on Colors channel. So and of course, the other important thing is they do decide to tell Rangmunch, who happens to be Mohan Bhatnagar's adopted daughter, the truth behind their story, that they are actually married and, they were separated due to issues, but they want to tell their adopted daughter that she's adopted because she doesn't know that she's adopted. So they want to come clean with her. So it's going to be an interesting next few weeks to see how the little girl is going to handle her adoption.
There's a lot of drama going on
It's
in these shows.
Indian TV shows always have a lot of drama, don't they?
Now, I haven't generally watched Indian programming, but is the drama? Would you say that it was over the top for like?
No,
give me an
there are
example, like
shows.
some older Japanese TV television.
There are shows which can be over the top, but there are also shows which are very, very stable and grounded, and you really enjoy watching them. There's no over the top stuff And there are a few shows that, and I never watch over the top shows. I don't like watching over there.
Where do people find this TV programming that you're talking about? Where do they find them?
You probably can just Google them. They're on YouTube, or there are like all these Indian websites. Number of Indian websites where you can go and they post all the links and things like that. So it's an easy. Well, any of the Indians who are watching them, they can just find them. And besides, we have the Dish Network, and all these people carry all those channels here.
See, I'm born and raised here in the United States, and growing up, it was pretty much just English and Spanish. And we knew that cable had Spanish TV stations, but for the lay person who might be interested in some South Asian programming, so cable has different languages out there.
Yeah, they do.
I don't watch much TV, folks. That's
but
why I'm
there's
asking
some
these dumb
really
questions.
nice. Yeah, but they're really nice. Some Korean shows. There are some really nice Pakistani shows. Really, really nice shows. And if you don't know the language, if you have the subtitles, it's great to follow those shows. I know a couple of my friends used to follow them like that. So, but anyway, so that is NBT, and then Saraswati Chandra. Apparently, the lovebirds are kind of getting lovey-dovey, and they finally realize that they've fallen in love, and now they want to get married. And of course, now this comes where all the dramatics are. You have a bad, evil witch stepmother who doesn't want them to get married, and then you have on the other side Godzilla.
I was lucky. I never had an evil stepmother. I had an evil wife, but never an evil stepmother.
Neither did I. My mother-in-law is the most amazing person on this planet Earth, I should say. We get along famously well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So Saraswati Chandra. So there's a wedding in the house, and obviously Kumud wants Saras to confess his feelings and obviously propose, and this guy is one shy guy, and then he's like all angry when he lands in India, and then when he realizes that he's in love, he's all this really like a teenager, gushing and blushing all the time. It's like so funny.
Love does that to you when you
I know, but
really
it's
fall
just
in love. It's like, come on, Lima, I've seen you with your husband. You guys are like teenagers. Yeah.
Seriously? We were that obvious?
I've seen it. And folks, if you don't think it's true, you haven't seen yourself in love with whoever you're in love with.
Well, anyway, so Saras promises Kumud's mom that he would take care of Kumud. He would give her the trust and the confidence and the understanding and what do I say?
Compassion?
And yeah. There we go. That he is going to go propose to her and marry her and take care of her for the rest of her life. Of course, it's not going to be so easy. Now you're talking about Indian TV shows.
It's
nothing
not easy
happens
because of the wicked stepmother.
Exactly. Yeah. Nothing ever happens. I mean, see, the thing that really amazes me is like everyone knows that she's bad, right? But yet, everything happens around the premise that they don't know she's bad. And I'm thinking, but she's bad. She's been doing these things and you guys are talking about it. So how can you ignore the fact that she is a bad person, It's really funny. But
maybe she's bipolar.
But the interesting thing in Saraswati Chandra is, though, I am more interested in Badima's background. So apparently it looks like her husband is in prison and we don't know for what. Oh. And I believe he's getting released. So that is going to be another big drama coming up in this show. It is worth a watch, people. I mean, mujhe to bahut pasand hai. I mean, I like watching Gautam Rode and Jennifer Winger, two of my, people that I like. And it is a good show. It is a good show. Give it a shot. And then when I come back, we have a few more shows to cover. And then, of course, we have to talk about Zindagi Gulzar Hai. So we're just hitting the top of the hour. Dosto, stay tuned and I will be right back.
Don't go away.
For more information on how to get your own show on Desi 1170 AM, give us a call at 408-440-0851 or send us an email to Desi1170am at AOL.com. Universal Media Access presents the Tech FM radio program, where innovation meets conversation. Listen every weekday from noon to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. San Francisco and Oakland, the largest and most powerful Desi radio station in America, a Universal Media Access radio station.
If you're looking to keep up on all the latest of your favorite TV shows, whether they be South Asian or American, Rangmunch on KLOK 1170 AM is the place you want to be. Don't miss Alima Let's Live live at 8 p.m. every Saturday night. Catch up and stay informed of all the saucy tidbits of your favorite villains and heroes, like House and many others.
Don't all doctors do that?
Yeah, but they can't dance like I can.
We're back on. All right. Well, we're having a literally a party over here in the studio today.
It's exciting.
It's nice meeting your friends and catching
We got
up. This is
friends coming
Rangmunch
in.
with Alima. We're getting into a second hour of the show.
Already?
Second hour
gone
of the
so by
show.
so quick.
I know.
The time just goes by
hey,
so
I'll
quick.
take that as a compliment.
Just take it.
Because that means I am entertaining you quite well then, if the time is going by fast.
Oh, as a matter of fact, yes, you're entertaining me on all levels here. Visually,
Thank you.
audibly, informatively.
Thank you. You know, guys, just before we went to the top of the hour, I had a call from one of our listeners, I hope I got the name right, Mr. Indrajit, I believe is what he had said. Well, anyway, if you're listening, do give us a call. It looks like we have lost you. Please give us a call and let us know how we are doing. And thank you for giving us, supporting our show and praising us. He said we're doing very well. He liked listening to the show and the songs were amazing. So it looks like people like the old golden oldies. He said he was driving from Salinas and he was up in Fremont at the moment and he's been following the show.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Indrajit.
I'm sure he pulled over and made the phone call.
I hope so.
Talked to you and then got back on the road.
Yeah, so give us a call if you still have time, and that's 408-912-5565 and going to Kubul Hai. मेरे प्यारे दोस्तों, Kubul Hai seems to be one of my favorite shows. Another one of my favorite shows at the moment. It is kind of commercialized, but I kind of like it because the guy is so handsome. And of course, the girl grew on me too.
Here we go with the sexist remarks.
Oh man, I literally drool over this guy. Well, anyways, but see, the biggest catch when I wasn't watching this show was because I didn't
Your husband was the biggest catch.
No. He's always going to be there. He's not going to go anywhere.
Oh, do I hear a tinge of
Now let me
taking him for
tell you.
granted?
Did I tell you we just finished 20 years of our marriage?
Oh my God, no, you haven't.
Last month. What are we? May?
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
April.
Wow.
See?
You didn't bring that up on the show. I'm surprised.
That I brought it up on the show.
You did not bring it
I
up
did not?
at that time.
Oh, at that
yeah.
time, I don't know why. Maybe it was. Oh, because it wasn't the weekend. I think it was the middle of the week, so probably maybe that's why I didn't bring it up. But hey, it's been
that's
20 years last
fantastic.
month,
Wow.
so we are still going on very strong.
That's beautiful. You
Yeah.
have a certain energy between the two of you that keeps you attracted, just kind of like a molecule, with
Like soulmates,
protons and
probably.
neurons, they kind of
Yeah.
stuck together.
Yeah, and maybe next time I'll share what he wrote for me on my 20 on my, or maybe if I pull it up the next time we go for a break. I mean, hilarious poem he wrote. I mean, they all decided to write poems for me because I like poetry and I write poetry and all that stuff.
And Alima is an awesome writer.
Oh, thank you.
I just had to put that in.
You know what it looks like? It looks like I brought you on so you could just praise me the whole show. No, it is not that, people. Mere pyare dosto. I did
don't
not bring
have
Carlos
praises,
here to
no.
just praise me, okay?
I don't praise anybody,
Yeah, I could do that, Chaz. Come on.
but I'm
anyway,
getting paid.
I will share his poem one of these days if I can pull it up, or next week I'll come prepared and share that poem. But it's an amazing, totally hilarious, and I should say I was laughing and I had tears coming down my eyes because I was laughing so hard at what he wrote. It's all about zeros and ones because he's an engineer. So you can just imagine how funny it's going to be. Anyways, Kubul Hai. Well, Kubul Hai happens to be another of my favorite show, like I was saying. Still Asad has to confess his feelings to Miss Siddiqui, and Mr. Khan seems to be, lagging behind and, mumbling here and there, and still hasn't said the words "I love you," so that she's waiting for. But I watched Friday's episode. It is totally hilarious. They go through the engagement ceremony and everything, and this girl Zoya, she's like fast. I mean, she calls everyone. She calls the guy Mr. Khan. She doesn't call him by his name. So she always calls Mr. Khan, like how you say Mr. Carlos or whatever. So it's so hilarious. And then she always thinks ahead of everything in her brain. No matter what the outcome is, she's just thinking of 10 different things that could happen, And initially when the show started, I hated her because she comes from the US to India and they show her like this really spoiled rich brat and all that stuff. And I'm like, you know what? We don't behave like that when we go to India. That was like so...
That's what happens when you become Americanized.
No, I mean, my kids or the teenagers. Well, anyway, that kind of put me off. But then after I started watching it again, probably from the past 3-4 months, it kind of grew on me. In fact, I'm liking her a lot now because she's really got that charm about her. Even though she's acting, her character is really, really nice. And the way, the ease with the way she says her dialogues are just, she's got perfect timing for comedy. I should say that. A lot of people don't have that.
No, it takes knack.
Yeah,
you gotta have it, or you don't have it.
You don't have it.
That's
Yeah,
a professional actress.
Exactly. And she's just too perfect for that. And every time I see her, she brings a smile to my face. Well, anyways, so obviously Mr. Khan hasn't confessed his feelings. He does all this huge preparation with the tents and the lights and the candles and the dinner and everything in the backyard, so that and she's always thinking, wait a minute, this is not supposed to be a real wedding because we're getting married. We're kind of faking the engagement and everything so that his mother doesn't fall sick or whatever it is, and she's constantly thinking,
faking it.
Well, in her mind, because this guy already decided it's going to be the real thing. He just didn't tell her. So she's thinking he's done all these preparations just to break off the engagement. And she's like, why did he give me a sari? I mean, he's going to be breaking this off to me tonight and he wants me to get dressed for it. And she all these little constant questions she asks herself. It's like so hilarious. Huh?
That does sound peculiar.
No, it is actually funny when you watch it on screen and the way she acts and all that stuff. It is just totally hilarious. And this guy, for all his hunkiness and everything, he's one coward who can't say I love you to her. So but then again, there's history that there's a lot of history.
You gotta say I love you while you have the opportunity.
Yeah, that's it. Well, anyways, दोस्तों, so right now, now अब तो देखना है कि Monday if he's going to confess or not, because the Friday episode ended with Miss Siddiqui, Zoya, I, and it ended there. And I'm sitting there and thinking, you gotta be kidding me, right? You couldn't have waited until he said, I love you to end the show. Anyway, so hopefully on Friday he's going to confess.
But that's what draws people back.
Exactly, whether he confessed or not. And I'm totally liking it. And then, of course, like every show, we have a bad witch always there.
No.
Like Cruella.
Cruella.
Yeah. This is pure Cruella here, I should say. So she wants to marry Assad and she wants to kill Zoya because she's marrying Assad. So there's a bunch of stuff going on with this lady, and Miss Siddiqui has her doubts about her, so she's very suspicious of what she's doing and what she's telling and what she's not telling. Though, if sources are to be believed, her truth is going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully, Cruella disappears very soon.
She sounds like a strong position in the show. I can't imagine she's going to go away earlier.
She's even got those cat-like eyes and
Catholic eyes.
And then every time she comes, there's a spooky music that comes.
Are you stereotyping now?
And every time she appears on the screen, there's a spooky music that comes when she comes on. So, anyways,
It reminds me of an old TV soap opera in America we had many years ago, back in the late 60s, early 70s, I believe. It's called Dark Shadows.
I heard about it, but I don't remember
You
ever
must.
watching
I don't know.
it though.
I don't know if it's on YouTube, but you simply must look into the
Dark Shadows. Maybe we can find the links for
Oh,
it.
scary show.
Is it like a horror show, or is it like
It's like a horror show, but it was made for daytime TV drama, like a soap opera. So it's not real extreme, but the acting and the way it's put together is very well done, because they couldn't do a lot of killing on TV.
So it's more like what do you say, like suspense kind
I
of
want to
thing?
say the word doesn't come to me, but barring that word, the word that comes to my mind is insinuating. What's the word I'm looking for? Lou, come on, you help me out here.
I'm stumped too right now, Jazz.
Well, we'll check that out. But those stay tuned. I have a couple more shows to cover, and of course, Zindagi Gulzar Hai is going to be my ending show, because the show also ended. But I have a few things that I want to talk to you about how Zindagi can be Gulzar. So दोस्तों, stay tuned. Rangmunch with Alima will be right back.
कितना प्यारा वादा, कितना प्यारा वादा है इन मत वाली आँखों का, इस मस्ती में सूझे न क्या कर डालूं हाल, मोहे संभाल ओ साथिया ओ बेलिया।
कितना प्यारा वादा है इन मत वाली आँखों का, इस मस्ती में सूझे न क्या कर डालूं हाल, मोहे संभाल।
कोरा कोरा गोरा गोरा ये अंग तोरा है, पागल मोहे बना दिया। कितना प्यारा वादा है इन मत वाली आँखों का, इस मस्ती में सूझे न क्या कर डालूं हाल, मोहे संभाल। बरसों मैंने मन जलाया, मिली पलकों की तब ये छाया, कांटे मेरे तन में टूटे, गले से तूने तब लगाया।
कितना प्यारा वादा है इन मत वाली आँखों का, इस मस्ती में सूझे न क्या कर डालूं हाल, मोहे संभाल। रोज उठा के ये नयनवा छुआ करूंगी तोरा मनवा, जैसे पहली बार चाहा सदा चाहूंगी मैं सजनवा।
है तेरे नैना मेरे नैना फिर क्या कहना है, क्या क्या न मैंने पा लिया। कितना प्यारा वादा है इन हिम्मत वाली आंखों का इस मस्ती में सूझे न क्या कर डालूं हाल मोहे संभाल
ओ साथिया ओ बेलिया कितना प्यारा वादा है इन मत वाली आंखों का इस मस्ती में सूझे न क्या कर डालूं हाल मोहे संभाल ओ साथिया ओ बेलिया
And Rangmunch is back with Lo and Chaz to, give me company today. Thank you, Chaz.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Pleasure's all mine, Alima. Thank you for having
So
me.
how far are you enjoying the show so far?
Am I enjoying the show? This is like a flash in the past when we were just having a good old time back in the day when we were doing the show every night of the week. This is fantastic. You never outgrow it.
I know, right? It's just fun to be talking what you feel like talking, and sharing your stuff and things like that. It's just an amazing, amazing feeling.
And
Connecting with the people.
But
there.
now this time, Alima, you have more freedom. You don't have.
I do.
Alima,
I
you
do.
don't have a boss looking over your shoulder.
Yes, because it's all my show, but I stay within the limits and try to make sure that I'm not going overboard, right?
That darn
And
FCC
then
regulation committee, man.
Lowell
I
is
tell
going to
you.
keep me on track.
Freedom of
rooted
speech.
to the ground.
Freedom of speech.
I know. Dosto Chanchan. This is a little sweet story that I'm following. You know what? Nowadays I seem to be following quite a few shows. I just realized before it used to be only one or two, but now I think it's just because of the radio show that I'm talking about the shows. I'm ending up watching more shows now. But anyways, Chanchan is doing a pretty decent a decent performance, I should say. Last week, Manav comes to know that his mother emotionally blackmailed him by faking her sickness, and so he's majorly upset with his mom, and then he leaves home. Gar chhod ke jata hai Chanchan ke paas, and then of course Chanchan tells ki I can't marry you kyunki unless your mother comes and accepts me as her daughter-in-law, I can't marry you. So if you're ever going to get married, the whole family has to agree. And I think I totally support her on that. And I think that is how it should be.
The whole family should have.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The guy's mom hates the girl. Okay? So...
Okay.
So, but the guy says, I'm going to leave the house because I want to be with my love. I don't care what my mother, because she emotionally...
Well, good. I'm going to leave the country because I want to be with my love.
So what happens the last week is apparently, so he leaves home and Uma Ben gets a big shock that Manav comes to know about a deception, about her not really being sick, and that she was just faking it so that he could leave Chanchan and marry another girl that his mom picks. And then she falls sick. Apparently she has a stroke. So Chanchan actually helps get the doctor and everyone and takes care of her the whole night, and then actually saves her in time, So
and then she has a turn of opinion.
She's got a turn of opinion, but I doubt it's going to last. I think she is thinking, if she comes into my house as a daughter-in-law, my son is still going to be with me, but I have an opportunity to make her life miserable.
Yeah, well, once they get married in that culture, are they going to have what do you call it? The social housing, where there's families who are going to move in together?
Oh yeah, and it's a big joint family.
Yeah,
I mean,
joint
he's got
family, exactly.
he's got like 3 other brothers and their wives and the kids and the whole thing.
When a couple moves into a joint family, the new wife, she is subordinate to the mother.
Not subordinate, but you know what the trend is about the mothers-in-law and what kind of, you have good mothers-in-law, then you have people who are, who always treat them as the
Politics.
daughters. Yeah.
Politics.
Yeah.
It's the same in any country.
Right, exactly. Well, I guess so. So it's kind of, but it's an interesting show though, because I know she's not a quiet girl. She's not demure. She's not submissive at all. I mean, she's an independent, strong girl. She knows exactly what she wants. So when she gets into the house, will she be able to, because this lady rules the house like
strong,
Hitler.
If she's strong and if she is smart,
yeah,
she's gonna make
exactly. So and I think that is what's going to be the rest of the show. right? I mean, she agrees to let them get married and comes, and then how will these two interact, and how the how their life is going to be, the issues, the problems, the changes, the acceptance.
That'd be an interesting show to watch on a number of levels, beyond entertainment, on a cultural level, for someone, who wants to learn the culture.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Charles, on that. I think it's a pretty decent show. I mean, it's a good show. Well, anyway, that is Chanchan for you people. Chaz has a special dedication for a very dear friend of his. You want to give an intro to this before I play the song? So I chose the song, and I hope I chose the right song.
I approved it.
Thank you. So this
Yes,
is.
indeed.
Do you want to say a couple of words? Yeah.
Yes, I had to be very careful because immigration may be listening. When it comes to immigration, you have to be real careful. So
Yep.
I'm just going to say that I have a very, very special friend in Scotland.
Okay.
And she's listening now, thanks to the internet. And
Fantastic.
I'm only going to say her first name.
Okay.
Carol, my dear, I know you're listening. This song goes out to you from my heart, from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you text me back.
All right, Carol.
I love you, dear.
Here's a song for you from Chaz.
Her eyes make the stars look like they're not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Yeah, I know, when I compliment her, she won't believe me. And it's so sad to think that she don't see what I see. But every time she asks me, do I look okay? I say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. Yeah. Her lips, I could kiss them all day if she'd let me. Her laugh, she hates, but I think it's so sexy. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Oh, you know, I'd never ask you to change. If perfect's what you're searching for, then just stay the same. So don't even bother asking if you look okay. You know I'll say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. The way you are. The way you are. Girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are.
That's Chaz. That's one of my favorite songs.
I thought maybe Carol might like it, but I'm not seeing too much. I'm thinking maybe.
Did she
Honey,
defriend you?
Don't defriend me, baby. I mean, that was like a compliment type of thing. It was just. Oh, come on. She's messaging me here.
Though, that is just Chaz. He's playing around. She did not defriend him. Hey, Carol, I hope you enjoyed the song. Just let Chaz know how much you enjoyed, listening to the show or
She's
the
saying
song.
you made a nice choice. But I approved it. It wouldn't have happened unless I approved it. God.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you. So as we move on to a couple of other shows where I'm still trying to find my paper because I missed what show I'm talking about. Punarvivah. I know a lot of people, last week I had said ki Punarvivah had ended, or which should I say, number 1 has ended, and it started off with a brand new storyline, and all I can hear on the forums and on the pages that I run for Punarvivah, people are crying all the way around. We are missing Gurmeet and we're missing this and that. So, anyways, I have watched Punarvivah too. Nai Umeed. It's doing all right. I mean, you guys just need to give it a chance to see it. I mean, just because you don't have your favorite people in that show necessarily doesn't mean that it's not a good show.
Yeah, sometimes you find some really remarkable talent. Do you remember, I don't know if you were here, Alima, Mork and Mindy?
No.
Oh, geez. Help me out here, Lou. Who was Mork? What was the actor's name?
Oh, no. I wish I'm 0 for 2. I'm helping you out tonight,
huh? My God. He was an incredible actor, and his name will come to me shortly. He was an incredible actor, and he did that show for I don't know how many years, and everybody just saying, this guy's just going to take off, and he did. Yeah. You find some remarkable talent in some of these new shows.
I know, yeah. I mean, but it's just that, people are so attached, so fanatically attached to some of these artists. They just can't stand when a show ends. They can't stand when someone comes in their place. I mean, they make such a big you cry. I mean, you would think it's a national disaster.
It's almost that's cool, but I want to say it's almost is a disaster because we should be showing this affection toward our loved ones.
Exactly my point. I mean, wouldn't you want to take up this cause for something else that's really out there? Then I totally understand. I have my favorites, I have my favorite people. I do feel sad when the show ends, but there should be a line you draw about things like that. When people go in to do new shows, feeling sad about is one thing, but then when you go across the line and start kind of what do you say? Gosh, I forgot the word. See, Chaz, it's your fault.
When you go across when you
I keep forgetting my words. You're contagious. Well, anyways, but what I'm saying is when they start like a character assassination, when they do like a character assassination of the other people who come in and take their place, see, that's what bothers me. I mean, just saying you don't like is one thing, but when you go forward and be nasty and evil about it, then that really bothers me. Well, anyways, Punarvivah 2 is doing all right. It is still very, very, very early, people, to know whether it's going to do good or not. And I was having a chat with Sumit Mittal Productions operations head, and he had said they have a very strong storyline, and the brickbats have already gone down, and he's not going to be bricks and bats and people, yeah. The dandas are already gone. So, well, anyway.
I thought you said the brick bats.
Brick bats.
The brick bats.
Well, you know how I come up with my own vocabulary sometimes. I tend to be creative. You should know this by now.
I thought you were starting a new myth like Bat Boy.
I'm going to...
There is a Bat Boy out in the Midwest.
There is. Well, anyways, so dosto, I have a request all the way from London, UK.
From the UK? You hear that?
Yes. And if I don't play this, I'm going to be in serious trouble. So, dosto, this is for Chand Tripurneni, all the way from London.
From
UK.
London, wow.
And I'll be right back.
मिसाल दूं मैं तुम्हारे शबाब की इंसान बन गई है किरण दूं गया है हंसी चांदनी का नूर आंखों में है चमन की जवारात का
And okay. Well, it's been a while since we had internet issues, right?
Yeah, it's almost like, hey, what the heck here? Come on.
And here I'm playing such a lovely song, a request all the way from London. Now I'm going to be in deep, deep trouble about this song. Well, maybe I can bring it back up again. Anyways.
I'm still on. Wait, are we on the air? Oh, well, somebody tell me something.
Well, we are on the air, and those that have just a couple more shows to cover.
I knew that.
Veera. Veera is going great guns at the moment right now. I mean, it looks like it's a season of weddings everywhere right now. All the shows are going through weddings and the wedding environment and everything. Though it looks like when Veera ended, the promo for the Friday, it looks like there's going to be some really news coming along. So it might be that they have come to know that Ratan's husband is actually dead, and that is going to be something that is going to be something where it's going to be, like I said, I've read comments where Wasim and Raghuveer have posted on the Facebook pages, get ready with your tissue boxes, people. So
that means it's a chick flick.
Well, no. I mean, imagine a lady where her husband leaves her because he was guilty of adultery. He leaves her, and she doesn't know if he's alive or dead.
Well, he just committed adultery. Why would she care?
Hey, because she still loves him, and there could be reasons why that had happened, and there are reasons why that happened. I'm not condoning. I'm not supporting the act, but what I'm saying is I'm open enough to think about what led to that act is what I'm saying. But anyway, so it's going to be a lot of cryings and all that stuff. So, well, I have the song back up. Hey, Lowell, do you think we should give it a try on the internet and see if this goes? All right,
give it away now.
Let's see if this comes through. Well,
अब क्या मिसाल दूं मैं तुम्हारे शबाब की इंसान.
Well, dosto, I'm sorry, Mr. Chand Tripurneni. I'll try to get this song again. Maybe it's just the internet, or maybe it just could be the link. Probably.
We tried. That's the bottom line. Yeah.
Well, when I heard this song at home, it was like right now. I can see it going, but it seems to kind of break in between for whatever reason. So, like there it stopped again because I'm following it on YouTube. Well, I will try to get another link for it and definitely play you the other song next week for sure. Zindagi Gulzar Hai. Dosto, I know a lot of people have been following Zindagi Gulzar Hai. The final episode has been done as of yesterday, Friday, and it was a good episode. It was a final ending. I totally enjoyed watching this show. It was a great, great, great show. Very down to earth. No historics, no dramas. I have a few notes that I want to talk about on Zindagi Gulzar Hai, but Amy from Pakistan has a dedication for Kashif, actually. In fact, sorry, Amy, I was supposed to play this last week, but I didn't get a chance to do that. So, Amy, this is for you, for Kashif from Zindagi Gulzar Hai. And also, when Rangmunch with Alima comes back, I'm going to wrap up the show with Zindagi Gulzar Hai final episode. Stay tuned.
जिंदगानी जैसा कभी वो कहानी जैसा कितना मुझे वो चाहे कैसे ये खुले कभी हर दौर तोड़े कभी टूटी आस जोड़े कभी मेरा साथ छोड़े कभी रहे पास आहा आहा कोई अपना किसी को जाने क्या आहा आहा कभी बोले हाँ कभी बोले ना तंग ही तंग करे कभी मगरूर लाके कभी मेरे गम में जाके कभी मेरी जान है वो कभी अनजान है बेवफा कभी वो है बावफा कभी वो कितना मुझे वो चाहे कैसे ये खुले आहा ओहो कोई अपना किसी को जाने क्या आहा ओहो कभी बोले हाँ कभी बोले ना तंग ही तंग करे हाँ आहा ओहो रूठी मैं अगर मनाओगे कैसे आहा ओहो लाखों में एक हो मगर मैं तो अनमोल हूँ आहा ओहो कोई अपना किसी को जाने क्या आहा ओहो कभी बोले हाँ कभी बोले ना तंग ही तंग करे
And Rangmunch with Alima is back on air. Low at the bow. I'm still very sad that link did not work.
YouTube. What else can you
YouTube,
say?
yeah.
Somebody
maybe-
doesn't know how to upload. That's the
I
bottom
know.
line.
Maybe I
yeah.
should convert that into like a iTunes thing and then just play the iTunes maybe next time. Well, I'll keep my promise next time. I always try to keep my promises.
Yeah,
right?
you might want to convert it also into a WAV file. Sometimes the players don't play.
Right, yeah.
What is it? MPG.
MP3.
MP3.
Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
That's
Miles per gallon.
All right, dosto, Zindagi Gulzar Hai. I always keep telling you that Zindagi Gulzar Hai means Zindagi is life, Gulzar means blossom. So life always is like one big continuous blossom that seems to open new opportunities, new avenues, new things in life. It's a continuous
blooming garden.
It's always a blooming garden. So hamesha I always keep telling you ki what you have right now is what makes Zindagi Gulzar. I mean, it's not about what you don't have. It's not about there is nothing perfect than this moment in time, because we're always going to be, wanting lot of things in our life. Lekin, with whatever we have, you make it perfect. So Zindagi Gulzar hai ended yesterday, Friday, and I can see a lot of people are going to be very sad about it. And I miss my partner in crime, Neeru. I don't know if she watched it in India or not, but by gosh, I bet she wants to talk about it, and I'm sure she's dying to talk about it. So let's see what she puts on her website. She's got a blog for it where people can post their comments and their thoughts about the show. But this is one show, very down to earth, very, very normal show, like you and I, like a couple, what they go through, their college days, how they how they fall in love, the issues they have, and the what do you say, the misinterpretation of things,
misrepresentation,
their egos, how that plays into building their relationship or not building their relationship. Just the normal relationship, just like Sai and I, what we go through when you get married.
Careful how you say that. It kind of sounds like cyanide.
Sai and I. Look at you. Here I'm talking about
I'm
blossoming.
giving you a different perspective.
Yeah, here I'm talking about life blossom, and you say garden of blossoms, and then you say cyanide on the
You talk organic, I talk organic.
Well, let me say it's I and Sai.
There you go.
There you go.
Now that be a bit
Though
more proper
it is not
English.
grammatically correct, I'll still that's okay. Then maybe I'll just say Alima and Sai.
No,
anyway.
just say how it sounds. It just
Well,
sounded
anyways,
like cyanide.
Last week, the show ended with where Kashif walks off from Zarun because she thinks that he's having an affair with his ex-fiancé, and instead of talking it out, both of them, end up fighting, and she leaves. So the show, so the final episode pretty much basically shows their thoughts, their feelings, how they miss each other. I mean, in all this, the communication is what seems to be lacking. I mean, itne din bhi kyun wait kiye the ye log ki? I mean, if there was an issue, what was it that stopped them from picking up the phone and calling? It was just pure egos. It was more like, why should I call? Why can't he call? And and I realized ki Zaru never ever once said, why isn't Kashif calling? But Kashif, like 110 times, she keeps thinking ki all men are like this. I mean, he doesn't even care about me. He doesn't love me. He doesn't call me. But it's just that she grew up without a dad. But then, like I said last week, there is a certain point of time after living with a person, you need to learn to trust. You need to learn to let go of your insecurities. It needs to be 100% relationship. It's just not a physical relationship, people. It's about being emotionally connected to your soulmate.
There might be something she needs to learn to do.
Exactly. I mean,
just can't change like that.
But you've been in a marriage for 1 year. Okay, you've evolved together.
They've been married a year.
Yes. So you've evolved together. So if you think in your mind that your husband is having an affair, then you better come out and ask him point blank rather than coming to your own conclusions when there was nothing. That's how all these arguments start. That's how people,
that's how they grow apart.
That's how they grow apart.
Lack
and
of communication is growing apart. What's crazy is people choose not to communicate.
Exactly. And they choose not to do it because they're so egoistic. Because they come to think, why should I take the first step?
Or they fear.
They fear what the outcome would be, or maybe if it's for real. But then, if there is fear, but you can't live in fear. I mean, 2 days, 10 days, 2 months, 3 months, you're going to stay apart. But don't you want to put a closure to it and move on either way? You either come back together or you...
Before you close anything, you've got to have You have to have the means intellectually, mentally. You've
Yeah.
got to have the means in how to approach your partner.
Correct.
Oftentimes, there are people who continue living in a relationship without having that means of how to approach their partner. Perhaps they're in an abusive relationship.
Right.
Then there's no way they can find.
Yeah,
to
and you know
confront that.
what? Here's what I think. Here's what I think about a relationship. When you close your eyes and sit back, and if you think about it, and the memories that come to you brings a smile to your face or brings a laugh to you, that is what love is, and that is what worth fighting for.
And what if that memory got me slapped?
Okay. Slapped? Oh, you're just a big bummer,
I'm
Charles.
messing with you.
You know. But anyways, that's
Yes.
what I'm saying is love is not something where you keep tabs of who's doing the most thing or how many times I said love you or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's not
counting.
debits and credits. I mean, it's an
Yes,
equal
good. Debit
thing.
and credit. That's a good analogy. I like that, Alima.
Yeah, I mean, you
You hear that,
cannot
girl?
do that. Maybe I'm going to post that on my Facebook status. Anyways, but what I'm saying is what you have is what you need to work with. You know, what you have in the present moment of time is what you need to work with. Okay, that is what your perfect moment is. You cannot always, you know.
Yes, but what you have in that moment may be something different than what your partner has at that moment.
Yeah, but
It's
you
finding
work
the
with
key.
it.
Yes,
yeah, but
exactly.
But you it's not like, so what are you going to say? Well, if for example, my husband wants to come and talk to me. You know, in this moment he wants to talk to me, but I'm going to come and say, okay, well, you know, I'm trying to do this. Give me half an hour. But then the moment passes.
Yes, and it'll never come back.
It'll never come back. You know what I'm saying? But when two people are in love with each other, but that's what it is. It's accommodating each other. It's understanding each other's needs.
Yes.
Compromising. You know,
People say-
sacrificing, compromising.
You know, I was going to say people consider a relation being in a relationship having to make sacrifices. You know, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I really don't think it's about sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, as you said, it's compromise, yeah, but even that's a strong word for me. It's a want, a need, a desire, a love to communicate.
And you know what? And that's a good thing. When I say compromises, even the compromises should not be tallied because you shouldn't feel that you are compromising your things. But if you love a person, you're doing it because you want to do it.
You desire that. Deep
You
down,
want
it's a
it to be this
desire.
way. You want to do things for this person. See,
Yes,
that's pretty much what it is.
You know, my philosophy is if my partner is laughing or crying, I want to laugh or cry with them. You know, it doesn't matter what they're laughing or crying about. I just want to be there.
Yeah. Well, you know, expectations is a big thing. I mean, when you have big expectations, that's when you're setting yourself for major disappointments and major issues, is my point of view. That's what I think, because you're expecting this to happen, it doesn't happen, and then you're disappointed.
Don't get me started
you know.
about the lectures on love. We don't have time for that.
Well, I can write about it. But anyways, coming back to Zindagi Gulzar Hai Dosto, I mean, Zarun and Kashyap have come back together. In fact, after all the stuff that she said she's not going to do, she actually picks up the phone and calls him and says, I want to come back home. And so she comes back. In fact, even before she comes back, she wakes up in the morning in her mother's house and her husband is sleeping right next to him. And she just can't even think that he's there already because they're apart in two different cities. So she pushes him and touches him, and then this guy is fast asleep and he jumps out of the bed and he goes, what the heck are you doing? She goes, oh, I'm just making sure you're real. I mean, what are you doing here? You know, I mean, this guy totally really loves her. I mean, you know,
And she loves him.
And she loves him. And of course, with the history.
And he just making sure you're real.
Yeah. You know, so they talk it out. So the story ends with them having twin girls. I mean, you know, she's been through a very tough childhood without a dad. So she's always had these insecurities that, what if I have girls? I mean, you're talking about in Pakistan, right? I mean, the rules. The rules are much more strict there. So
they're a little different.
Yeah, so she's always been worried because that's what happened when her dad leaves and marries another person because he wanted a son. So she's thinking that if I have two daughters, will my husband leave me? You know.
I would like to see a TV show come out where you've got some of the similar scenarios that you're presenting here from the various shows here, but in the middle of it all, the family, the immediate family, moves to America and see what kind of changes they go through. You know, families go through some major changes when they move from any country to America. There's a lot of conflict that goes on there.
Yep. And so, you know, so they've come back together, people. So, like I said, Zindagi gulzar ho sakta hai as long as you keep it going that way. You remember what is important to you. You remember your loved ones and you spend time with them. You live in the moment of what you have, and that is what makes your life full. And like I said, that's my point of view, people. I mean, people could differ different, but from my experience, that's what I have realized. And that's what I'm sharing with you. So a very good show comes to an end. I mean, Kashif and Zarun are going to be two amazing characters that I'm going to carry with me for a long time. And we're just hitting the top of the hour again, dosto. It's a long Memorial Weekend. I hope everyone is going to have a fantastic time. Chaz, thank you so much.
Oh, the pleasure was all mine. Lima, I can't express my gratitude enough. This has been fun. This has been enjoyable. It's been awesome. It's nice being back to the old hangout.
It is. It was really
Thank
fun.
you very much.
Thank you so much for running the board. Dosto, jate, I just want to make sure that you remember what you have with you and, you know, be grateful for what's been given to us in our life. And of course, as the night ends, I do want to end the show with the title song for Zindagi Gulzar Hai. In fact, it was my choice as well as Amy from Pakistan. In fact, I already chose the song to be playing at the end of the show, and she comes back and says, can you please play the title song at the end of the show? You know, it's the last episode. And I said, oh my God, I actually have already had that pulled up. And so, Amy, this is for you. Thank you. It's good knowing you, even though it's through a show. And I hope we keep in touch with each other and we end up watching a lot more shows. Dosto, have a fantastic night and take care and be safe.
Good night, folks. Good night, Carol.
जिंदगी गुजार है हमको इससे प्यार है आना एक बार है खो देना बेकार है जिंदगी
जिंदगी गुलजार है ये इश्क का दरबार है किसी के गम को बांटना ही प्यार है हाँ ये प्यार है जिंदगी गुलजार है ये इश्क का दरबार है यहाँ गमों को पालना बेकार है हाँ बेकार है यहाँ तितलियाँ मुस्कुराती हैं तो गीतों में ढल जाती हैं यहाँ जुगनू जब जगमगाते हैं तो रंग बन जाते हैं ये माना के आँखों में आंसू है दिलों में बसी बेबसी चलो ये भी माना के अपनों से बेहतर है अजनबी यहाँ रास्ते दुश्वार है और मंजिलें उस पार है मगर इसे जीने को दिल तैयार है ओ तैयार है ये जिंदगी गुलजार है ये इश्क का दरबार है
you for listening to Desi 1170 AM. Call us today at 408-440-0851 to get your business, product, or service instantly connected to the San Francisco, San Jose, and Oakland South Asian community.